Hey guys, what is up, and welcome to another commentary gameplay video on Ghost Recon Future Soldier. This is the closed beta we're playing now, and I am playing as a Rifleman. I am on the Ghost side, finally. I finally got to play some Ghost side stuff, so I got to mess with my ACR. And I'm again with my friend of mine, Death Temptress. We were just dominating last night, and this is another one of those domination games. So you see me rushing up here. This is on the map Pipeline, and I'm going around to the right flank here. It's always important to check the flanks. Make sure that no one's going to come on those flanks. Otherwise, you can get screwed over pretty quickly. That's a promise. So, see, I take out that guy there. There's another guy here. He gets me down and knocks me out of him before I can back myself up. This guy, November, so to speak, if you've watched some of my other videos, you know he and me are arch enemies. He and me. It's a great way to say it. So spawn in here, get this guy, get another guy here. Come up, that guy tags me again. It was a very slow start to this game. I was about to turn off the camera, to be honest, because like I don't know if this will be worth shooting. We're getting wrecked. And then we finally start to turn it around. This is especially a scene you'll see towards the end of this video that me and Death, we were just screaming at each other. It was so awesome. So as far as my gun setup goes, what do I really go for? If you've watched some of my other videos, you know that with my guns, I really prefer control. That's why you see I have an ACOG scope, I have a foregrip, I have a, well, I guess you can't really see the difference in the muzzle flash, but I have a extremely accurate muzzle for my gun. That's just how it works. So many frag grenades up here. Death ends up killing me. I was screaming at her for that one. It was pretty funny. So spawn back in again. Yes, you can spawn on your teammates. Now, a few people have been saying, you know, to me, hey, why, what's this idea of intel censorship and all that jazz? Well, what does hacking intel do? Now, hacking intel, first, if you haven't seen my other video, I'll explain it here, is achieved by taking a stun gun up behind an opponent, stunning them, and then hacking into their augmented reality system. And this displays enemy locations and intel on the map. Now, why do this? Not only does it bring into the play, you obviously see all the enemy intel and all that on your augmented reality heads-up display, you know, yourself, but it also prevents enemies from spawning on each other because they have you know, intel on their locations. They don't want to spawn on each other. Otherwise, it's going to compromise the operation. Now, is that really logical? Again, not sure, but it's just how it functions. And it's a pretty cool function, to be honest. It makes hacking someone's data relay really a big deal, especially in some of these. In Conflict, you know, the mode I play now, not so much, but in Sabotage or something like that, it can change the entire series of the game. So you see here, I'm using the ACOG scope. The ACOG scope is pretty functional compared to my red dot with my 4x magnification. I did end up swapping back to that red dot just because it flows better for me and it's easier to use in close quarters. But I do love the ACOG in situations like this. You see here, we're still not doing so hot, and I'm not doing hot either. We're spawning it here, and it's just being a pretty bad game. Then Death starts racking up some kills. This is actually your first game playing as a Rifleman, you know, and she was trying to snipe before. These guys are lighting up the wall because they think they can shoot through walls. It's ridiculous. No, but she was playing as a sniper before Scout, and she was just like, got so frustrated that she plays Assault, and she's like, oh, I'm doing so good. It's pretty funny. So this is the left side of the map. Pretty straightforward. It's like a small-time alleyway. And the one thing I do like about these maps is they're really interlinked, and there's really lots of ways to do stuff. The one thing that I'm not a big fan of on Pipeline, though, is it's fairly easy to spawn camp or get spawn camped. Now, as far as spawn camping goes, I'm not a big fan of it, right? If someone's camping my spawn, I'm angry, so I don't do it to them. I'll spawn camp the objective if it's closer to there. But because this map's so, you know, close up compared to some of the other ones, you really can't help but to spawn camp a few times. I mean, the Russian spawn, for example, you see later in this video, is directly on one of the capture points, pretty much. So, I mean, people would consider that spawn camping, but there's really nothing you can do to change that, you know what I mean? I mean, the spawn is everyone's there, so you're stuck with it, and there's really nothing you can do about it. So I go up here, get that guy. That active camouflage man fools me every time. I try to shoot that guy. I was like, oh, no. So I throw a frag grenade here. take out that guy, come back out, and this guy ends up killing me. The frag grenades in this game are extremely useful. I just love them. I mean, they're functional, they bounce a lot, and they don't have too big of an exploding radius. You have to really be close to someone to blow them up, or at least kill them. If they're within like a certain radius, it'll knock them to the ground and incapacitate them a little bit, kind of like a flashbang-ish grenade, you know? But it proves to be extremely functional and well-used. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm currently running a competition. This competition, I'm giving away a Ghost Recon closed beta key for the thing you're seeing right now. This is actually my first competition. I wanted to give back to my fans and everyone that watches my videos because they've helped me out so much and they're the reason I do this kind of stuff. So I have a few extra beta keys I'm going to be handing out. It's a comment competition on YouTube. You'll find it on my YouTube page. It should be 2 or 3 videos below this one. And it's very simple. All you have to do to win the code is obviously be a fan. You have to at least subscribe to my YouTube page because this is a giveaway to my fans, not to random people who love me all of a sudden because they want a beta code. But the way it's going to work is you post a comment on that video saying what you're most excited about with Ghost Recon, and I will pick a winner within the next day and send them the code via private message. So be sure, if you want a code, if you want to get in on this action, be sure to pick up one of them from me by winning the competition. And remember, I've got a couple comments and everyone's just like, please be me, give me the code. Remember, that's not how you win. If if you don't post a comment talking about what you're most excited about in Ghost Recon, then I'm sorry. Please be me comments are not what I told you guys to do. At the end of the competition, I want to hear what you have to say about Ghost Recon. See here, I just went on a rampage. This is where the game starts to turn around. And it's a 6 kill streak, just raped right there. No, but remember, post what you're interested in about Ghost Recon. Don't post, please be me, give me a key. That's not how you're going to win it. So be sure to check out that video. Anyway, though, back to the game. You saw I just got a 6 kill streak. That was one of the best kill streaks. If you saw my little montage clip I put together last night, with some music, that clip was the pride and prime of that montage. I was pretty proud of that clip. There's also another one in mill gameplay with my ACR that I am extremely proud of. It was a 5 kill streak over the bridge, which was pretty cool. Now, for those of you who have been watching my Ghost Recon videos, I've really only done Rifleman clips. That's because this is what I did the first night. I really explored the Rifleman. It is what I'm good with, heavy armor, assault rifles, and light machine guns. That's what I'm good with. Quick movement, all that jazz. But I will be doing videos covering the other classes because obviously everyone wants to see the other classes. There's the Rifleman, which I'm playing as now. There is the Engineer and the Scout. As you see, there's a Scout right there with the active camouflage. The active camouflage is pretty handy. I've actually started using the Scout a lot just because of that camouflage. Extremely helpful. See, that guy knocks me down there. If you're also curious about weapon customization, because you constantly hear me referring to weapon customization in these videos, in these commentaries, and that's honestly because it makes an extremely big deal, an extremely big difference. Be sure to check out my weapon customization video to see, what I did when I first got in the game and got to spend some points in customizing my weapons. And I'll be sure to, you see this guy and his grenades. Oh man, I hate that guy. Sorry. But you'll see that I'm very serious about weapon customization. I would spend hours testing everything out to make sure everything works and the recoil is just perfect. And that's just kind of the dude I am with this thing, so that's how it works. Now here, we're getting close to the end of the game, and me and Death actually push up, and this is one of my oh awesome moments. There's this platform, and it's got 3 entryways, and this is that point where you'll see with the spawn. Literally, the Russian spawn is right north on the map, or excuse me, south on the map, and they just run across a couple platforms from their spawn zone and then end up in this area. Because the objective was needed to be defended, I mean, we just stood here. Call it spawn camping if you want, but I didn't think it was too unfair. So me and Death sitting up here, we were just dominating this battlefield. It was amazing. There's a couple like oh crap moments coming up here. I'll be sure to point them out. There's one where we had like frag grenades just everywhere, and I'm like, ah! She ended up killing me because she thought I was an enemy because there's so much stuff going on. It was pretty funny. Yeah, but the Rifleman I think is going to be my go-to class. I'm really enjoying the Rifleman. Maybe on some of the other maps I'll go Scouts, but the Rifleman's great, especially with all the weapon customization because you can kind of make it your own. And right now my ACR, I have a vertical foregrip on it. I had the ACOG. I ended up switching that to the holographic sight and the 3 or 4 times magnification zoom. Just because it's easier to use in close quarters combat, and it's a quicker scope in. I still have the double mags, although I plan on upgrading the magazines to some more advanced FMJ rounds, you know, just for some extra armor penetration on some of the other classes. And you see that to the side. Many people were saying that that was a laser designator, and it's actually not. That is a sensor. Now, this is one of the cool things. The sensor basically, anybody within range of the sensor that is moving, right, or shooting, the sensor will pick up and display on my map for a specific amount of time, which is pretty interesting. Honestly, I didn't see it functioning too well, to be honest. You'll go through here and I just said honestly twice. Wow. You'll go through here and you'll see that it really doesn't function too well. It doesn't point out enemies specifically, so that was kind of I'm not really a big fan, but you know, I still like it over the laser designator. So you see here, we're holding down the objective. I get destroyed there, but Death ends up getting him. By the way, too, with big shots to Death Centrist, if you haven't seen her, she actually runs helps run a Facebook group for girl gamers and guy gamers. It's called Curb Stomp Modeling. I'll be sure to post a link in the description below here. But when I started doing YouTube videos and stuff, I met them through a Facebook promotional event. And we actually became pretty good friends, and now we stream and do videos all the time together, and it's definitely a really good group you should check out. They have some really cool models there. It's not like an official modeling crew, you know, but just some people. There's some cute girls in there with, you know, their Zelda shirts and stuff, and they're honest about it, which is what I appreciate. You know, shout out to Nikki if you're watching this, you know what I mean. And a few other girls, Heather and stuff on there. And then there's also some really cool guys that they got going. We do gaming events and community events, and I actually live stream those community events, which is pretty cool. So definitely a cool group if you're looking for someone to hang with.
Moving to Alpha.
You see me moving up the ladder here, pushing around the right flank. We're still trying to get this ammo dump, and that's one of the big things. This is a conflict type of game. The biggest thing, I did speak about it in my last commentary video, but the biggest thing I can compare it to is Killzone 3's Warzone kind of thing, where it's randomly placed objectives all over the battlefield. And that is, you know, kind of what this is. You secure objectives, you defend EMPs, you get MPs, there's airstrikes you secure and everything. You know, it really depends. Now, smoke grenades here, I'm a big fan of. Why? Because with my sniper, I can throw down a few smokes, mask what's going on, and actually use a thermal scope. Now, the thermal scopes are pretty handy. Actually, I guess pretty is an understatement. They're extremely handy when it comes to these kind of situations. Because you can throw some smoke, and riflemen and engineers will kind of be like, what's going on? And snipers won't be able to see unless they have a thermal scope like yourself. And you can just pick people off. It's fantastic. I'm going to plan on doing some scout footage later this weekend, as we go into the weekend. And you guys will be able to see that there. Some of the scout stuff is phenomenal, being able to drop bipods and everything. I got directly impacted with a grenade there. Look at this. He throws it up, and it hits me right in the helmet. Just bam. There's nothing. That was a good grenade kill. You know, I gave it to him. It's a pretty impressive kill. So we're going up here. We're still holding this position. It's just on lockdown. There's my failed frag grenade of the day. You got to be really careful with those frag grenades. You can throw them and they'll bounce off of windowsills, or they won't go right and they'll end up killing you and some of your teammates, because friendly fire is on globally in this game. There's nothing you can do to avoid that. So we're in the last minute here, and you know, I'm not really going to talk too much about the game here. Just doing some typical kills, holding down the spawn area of the Russians. I think I actually did a melee kill up here on this guy. No, I ended up shooting him in the head. But the beta is a lot of fun so far, really enjoyable, and definitely, you know, worth a try. Like I said, you know, I'm running that competition. If you want to get into the beta, feel free to go comment subscribe to my channel, comment, and talk about what you're interested in with Ghost Recon, because it is a really well-run beta. The servers are a little iffy because they're actually having a ton of people into this beta. And for those of you who want beta codes, you can get them anywhere. Raptor, Twitter, Ubisoft's really testing out the servers here, so it's not too difficult to get a Ghost Recon closed beta code. Although it's not considered an open beta because they aren't just handing them out. Anyway, though, that was a video, and you see here in the final kill match, I was 34 and 16. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember to like and subscribe, and more Ghost Recon videos will be coming up soon. See ya. Bye.